All right, welcome back. It's still East Central, and I promised you a special conversation today, and I'm sure you're ready and you're eager to find out what it is. So we had the opportunity to have an exclusive chat with the Nigerian superstar musician and actor, talking about the one and only Ikechukwu on the current evolution of hip-hop and Afrobeats. And trust me, it was quite insightful. Let's take a look.
My name is Ikechukwu.
I just want to sit up on my microphone and dance along in the breeze, Hey, and I can walk about and if I like, I cannot talk to anybody.
The music industry has changed and has come a long way in Nigeria from when I came back in Christmas of 2005 till now. A lot has happened. It's progressed. It's evolved. Social media has come into play, blown up the game. Afrobeats is global now, you know, and I'm proud of it. Everybody knows, but they like to front. Truth of the matter is, hip-hop is the backbone of most music coming out of Nigeria. So I said it, tell them I said it, Ikechukwu said it, I don't care, yes. At the end of the day, if you check all your Afrobeat artists, that's the kind of music they're listening to, where they get their inspiration from, which mostly gonna be hip-hop, you know, and that's just how I feel. But as far as rap, hip-hop, you know, in Nigeria, it's always had this connotation of being dead, you know. Even when I came into the game, people would like to classify me as a legend of hip-hop in the music industry, blah, 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 change the game, da, 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 da. So if the game was changed and if it became more commercialized and more accepted, how is it dead? That means it's alive and thriving. And from then till now, you know, it's broadened up even more. You have a whole lot more accepted hip-hop artists, you know, rappers out there, even though the numbers aren't exponentially greater than they were before as far as the top-tier successful artists out of Nigeria being hip-hop artists that haven't, you know, swayed or diluted it a little bit with Afrobeat or whatever. You still have a huge number, you know, a huge following, you know, just growing that culture, that hip-hop culture. So I'm very, very proud, you know, of it, and I'm proud of all the artists who are sticking to their hip-hop guns and keeping the flag flying. Never say never. Very simple. Never say never. Nigerian hip-hop, Nigerian rap, you know, it's all about a formula that is accepted at the given time. And if someone comes up with the right formula that blends everything and it's still considered, you know, hip hop is still considered rap or has that majority of rap infused in it and has, you know, and everybody's feeling it and it goes global, all of a sudden it's a phenomenon, next thing is nominated, next thing you carry an award, you say, hey, I did happen. So never say never. There's a big misconception because hip hop is a culture. Rap is just an aspect of that culture, you know. And granted, yes, I mean, we can't hide from the fact that, you know, a certain type of rap propagates, you know, violence out there because, you know, a majority of it, specifically coming from the United States, is talking a lot about gangs and guns and violence, you know. And your youngins are picking that up and they're emulating it. So yeah, you can have that, but it isn't what it is in its entirety. I mean, there's conscious rap still. Conscious rap is thriving now more than it ever has. There's Christian rap, you know, and there's mumble rap, you know, there's scissor rap, there's lean rap, there's drill, there's this, there's that, you know. So there's so many different departments, you know. So please be more specific when you want to attack us as a culture. You understand? We're thriving, we're surviving. I think it's a familiarity that is unexplainable. I think that's a major part of it, a major factor of it, because people who hadn't or haven't experienced Afrobeat hear it and it sounds familiar to them in a funny way, and that's because drums and synths are very they resonate with our music, and they're familiar with that from like things like salsa and soca and reggae and dancehall, etc., which all kind of like comes from African people, or people of African origin or African descent. So I mean, at the end of the day, once it has correct drums inside, it can be traced back to us as far as I'm concerned. So. I think it's already doing that because, I mean, first and foremost, traction and awareness, shines light. It's not a spotlight anymore, it's a bright light. Everybody's getting some light, so people are able to eat off of it a whole lot more now than ever before. It's not a one-chance situation anymore, and it's giving a lot of people the opportunity to have a better life. One thing that people don't pay attention to in Nigeria is that there's a serious poverty problem, and it didn't just start today. So there are very few ways out of it. And music presents a huge way out of it for a lot of people. So even people who are not talented find the talent for it, So I think that's something that people should look at, because for a very long time, Nigeria had a negative connotation on its name abroad. It was either their government terrible or forward that or this one down. You understand? But for a very long time now, it's been good light. From athletics to movies to music. And all of them, you put all of them together, the music is driving all of them. So, I mean, it's doing a lot of good work for us, as far as I'm concerned. It's not something that you can sit down and write it, but when you hear it or when you see it happening, I mean, if you have the experience, you smell it, you can feel it, a lot of people have been in that kind of scenario where they make formulas that work, successful formulas, and they try to repeat it as much as they can, you get me, until they can come up with a new formula that works. So it's not something that you can sit down and say, okay, look, if you put this guy and this guy together with this producer and they produce, it can fail. It can fail. The greatest producers produce nonsense sometimes, So it's something that it's all about timing. It's all about timing. When the time is right, it will happen. I can't tell you when that. It could be next year, and then it could be 10 years from now. But like I said then, never say never, because it could happen.